Ms. Devlin, I just want to, what happened? Like, what happened over the last, insert months where this seemed to kind of spiral out of control? Can you, give me the Reader's Digest on that one?
Well, the main thing is the ballooning of the workload because of the PACT Act making more veterans eligible to apply. And those veterans are predominantly in certain states have a higher veteran, population, so those stations got impacted more.
I wasn't here. Were you here for the PACT Act, Chris? So was that thought of? I mean, was this predicted in the PACT Act? By the way, we're going to have more guys and gals, and therefore we're going to have more counselors for VRNE. Okay, so then we're just failing somewhere along the lines. I want to talk to you for a second. You said you need 387 additional counselors on top of what's in the president's budget?
Yes, sir, that would be to get us to the 1 to 125 ratio.
Okay, so you're saying you need roughly 800 counselors, is that right?
We currently have 1,056 performing this work.
So you need 1,400 or 1,500 total? Okay. How many vets have been in this program for longer than 48 months?
I don't have that number off the top of my head, sir.
Right here. So it's big. So this is, Chris can't read this, by the way. I can, it's really small. I had to take my glasses off to read it. But we got some people here that have been receiving these benefits for like 82 months in a row. And $461,000. We got $895,000. This goes on and on and on and on and on. And I'm just wondering, has anyone been held accountable, to your knowledge, and I know you just got there, for this? I mean, imagine how much medical benefits we could give to folks, or how many more of these people we could hire if we weren't spending $900,000 for an individual to get 72 months of training doing I don't know what. So to your knowledge, has anyone been held accountable for this?
We've increased oversight over the last couple of months in looking into those cases to make sure that the right things are being done. Either the veteran needs to be re-engaged and finish their program.
No, ma'am, I understand. I'm talking about at the Veterans Affairs Administration, to your knowledge, has anyone been held accountable for this absolute buffoonery?
We have to look at the individual cases. It's not necessarily incorrect for that veteran to be in the program that long.
Ms. Devlin, where do you go to college where you spend $900,000 for a degree?
One of those cases that I looked at in my oversight capacity was actually an independent living case where the veteran needed adaptation to their home to be able to navigate their home effectively.
Now, this is what we talked about previously, and we're talking about splitting pools of money. But is that the case with this guy? We don't know. It's interrupted. So we need to really get into this, because this committee is also responsible for adaptive housing. So we need to have very clear funding lines. So there's another thing. How do you establish the BAH rate for a student? What is it based on?
The BAH rate is established in the Chapter 33 guidelines, and VRNE simply uses those tables.
Okay. So if a person's home of record is in Michigan and they fly to San Diego to take a single class, they get San Diego per diem.
They would get
or
the
BAH.
rate. Yes, sir. They would get the rate based on the facility they are attending in person.
Okay. See, this is an issue because that's $4,000, and BAH, having been in the military for a long time, is based on where you live or your duty station. So this is something that Chris and I have to work on, because that's fraudulent in my opinion. You're living in a place where the cost of living is so small, and then you fly in for a single class to do something, and you're making 3 times the BAH. So that's something we need to look at from an oversight perspective, because that's legislative.
That is legislative. That's correct, sir.
And that is why we need to do our job. I'm telling you, it is frustrating a little bit. What do you think, like right now you have a magic wand, what do you do to fix this program? We got 19 seconds.
I don't have a magic wand, but what we are doing is increasing internal controls to make sure that we can more closely monitor these things and hold our leaders accountable for monitoring the program.
Okay. Well, my time has expired.